So, good evening, everyone. Uh, 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 Hope all have joined the session now. So, uh, with me is Sachin Jain, who will be the main speaker of today's session. I'll take this honor to introduce himself to all the participants. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Perfectly
Oh,
audible.
perfect. Fantastic. So, Mr. C.S. Sachin Jain is highly qualified professional, holding credentials as chartered accountant, company secretary, and an advocate. Additionally, he has also earned DISA qualification from Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. With extensive experience in training, he successfully trained over 20,000 professionals and more than 2,000 GST officers across India. Uh, as a distinguished faculty member, CS Sachin Jain contributes to numerous prominent platforms, including Taxman, Tax Guru, TaxScan, CA Club India, and Batuk Academy. He has conducted multiple sessions for ICA and ICMA branches, sharing his expertise in various subjects. Currently, his partner at Messrs. J. Kumar Jain and Company, a Rajasthani-based CA firm. His prolific writing includes authoring numerous blogs on indirect taxation and influential books such as The Digestive Guide to GST, Decisive GST Cases, The GST Question Compendium, Simply GST, The Memory Chart Guide, and various other publications. He has also done various training programs, and his videos are all over the web, which we can watch and take advantage of his expertise in the indirect taxation. In fact, CS Sachin Jain's dedication to his profession and his contribution to the field of taxation make him highly respected and sought after expert in his field. I really welcome Sri Sachin Jain ji to this session, and he'll be the main speaker, and he'll be taking it forward from now. Sachin ji, please take over the dais.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you to the team Grandmark for providing me the opportunity to deliberate in front of the team of experts, I can say. So, yes,
In fact,
today we'll discuss.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
in fact, we are honored to invite you to this session to our organization. Definitely, it will be definitely an very informative session for us.
Yes, sir. Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
fantastic.
So, let's start our discussion on a very important topic, very important subject, we can say, that is GST. And as we all know, daily basis, there is amendments in GST, there is something new in GST. So we all should update it ourselves from the new which is coming in the industry. With the objective, we are coming with this specific workshop in which we'll discuss certain recent amendments from the GST perspective, certain recent changes which we need to keep in our mind, and certain specific things which we need to guide our client as well. And at the end, also we'll try to discuss something important from the annual closing perspective, that what are the things we need to keep in our mind while going for the closing of our financial statement from GST perspective. Okay, don't while filing the 9 and 9C or while filing the income tax audit report, we'll do these things right now. So we'll discuss the techniques as well. Sir, this session is completely based on practical approach. I will share with you the new recent changes with practical implication as well. So I just request everyone, because we all are experts. Okay, so I just request one thing from all of you. We have a chat box. So if you have any question, any query, you can put it in the chat box. I will take the queries in between the session itself, so that our session will be interactive. Okay, and कोई load लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, एकदम feel free. And if it is possible for you, then just keep one notebook and pen with you, so that if you found anything important, you can make a note of that. Although I will share with you this presentation as well. So feel free, be seated in your office, at your home, and just enjoy the learning. So let's start our discussion from certain recent changes under GST. First thing, that is input service distributor, and one new change applicable from 1st of April 2025. That is, sir, earlier there were two concepts available. One was cross charge, another was input service distributor. Now government is saying that from 1st April 2025 you have to follow the input service distribution mechanism only. Sir, when I am going to share any change, at the same time, I'm also going to explain that provision as well, so that अगर कहीं पर मुझे उस provision का कम idea है या applicability का idea नहीं है, so we can get the same. Okay. So, input service distributor is a very unique or important concept when a head office is going to avail certain services as an industry whole, and that services has been utilized by the branches as well. You can say audit fees, and the invoice has been prepared or as invoice has been shared with the name of head office only. In that case, definitely that ITC will be credited to the electronic credit ledger of head office or reflected in the GSTR 2B of head office. But now the point is that head office has not availed the complete services. Branches has also taken certain part. So the ITC should be distributed with the branches as well. So for distribution of the input tax credit with the branches, there is a mechanism which is called as input service distributor. For that purpose, that head office has to take one separate registration as a ISD, and by filing the return, that ISD is going to transfer the input tax credit. But earlier, certain industries was in thought that who will take the new registration as a ISD, we have to follow the compliances. So just prepare an invoice with the name of branch for respective share and transfer the input tax credit. Due to that mechanism, yes, compliances वहां कहीं ना कहीं कम हुई, but the point is that in which ratio you are transferring the input tax credit, there is a question on that. But in case of input service distributor, you have to follow the mechanism which has been prescribed by the law. Hence, from 1st April 2025, government has come up with this change that in case head office is availing any services and taking a centralized invoice, in such a scenario, the distribution will be based on ISD only. And earlier, sir, reverse charge mechanism related input tax credit was not distributed in case of ISD. But now from 1st April 2025, government says that if head office has taken any invoice under reverse charge mechanism as well, and head office has paid the taxes under reverse charge mechanism and claim the input tax credit, then also the head office will be eligible to transfer the input tax credit through the ISD mechanism. So this is the important change if we are dealing with these type of things. And while going for the analysis of financial statement, if we found there is a specific entry related to these type of expenditure in head office account, then we need to ensure that the ITC has been transferred, that head office has taken the registration as the ISD or not. Through this particular session, I will try to discuss the amendments, the changes. Also, I will try to share with you the impact on the industry and how we can check these things while going for the analysis. Because at the end, as an advisor, as a consultant, I need to take care of these type of things for my client. So I will share with you that crux as well. So first change is related to my input service distributor. Second change, which is also very unique, but sir, this is the responsibility of our client. But as a tax consultant, as a tax advisor, this is also my responsibility to guide my client to follow these things in a very well manner. That is e-way bill. And government has come up with the applicability of two-factor authentication in case of e-way bill. That means now when my client will go for the generation of e-way bill, then there is requirement of login ID and password. With that, there is requirement to put a OTP which has been shared on the registered number. So at that time, there is an issue. Sir, all these compliances will be handled by my client only. But the point is that there may be chances that accountant is generating the e-invoice or accountant is generating the e-way bill, or there is separate portion is there in the industry where the generation work is going on related to the e-way bill. So how we can provide in a seamless flow for the compliances? Because as a CA, I also need to adjust something for my client with respect to the smoothing of the compliances or follow-up of the procedure. At that time, we have to suggest our client, sir, there is a mechanism available for creation of sub-user. And if my client is create a sub-user in the e-way bill dashboard, in that case, that sub-user can also put the OTP and the OTP will be shared on that registered number. So I can register as a sub-user to the concerned person. Also, government has launched a specific app, NIC GST Shield app. आपको पता होगा there is one app which is Microsoft Authenticator. Okay, this app is same like that app. In this particular app, one OTP is always there, and this OTP is frequently changing in every 30 seconds. Okay, so when the taxpayer wants to log in on the e-way bill portal, at that time that person has to just check the app which is there in mobile phone, check the OTP, put the OTP in e-way bill portal, and generate the e-way bill. So we may suggest to our client that, sir, this app should be downloaded in the mobile phone of your concerned person, so that we are suggesting something regarding the improvement of the compliances in a smooth way, in an effective way. So this is also a check point which we need to do, and this is applicable, or this was applicable from 1st of April 2025 regarding the e-way bill. Now, sir, most important thing, and I think we are receiving certain notices on account of this specific aspect as well. E-invoice, which is applicable if your turnover crosses the specific limit of 5 crore rupees, then the e-invoice is applicable. Now, sir, from 1st April 2025, government has imposed a specific timeline for generation of the e-invoice. Earlier that was 3 months, but now government is saying if your aggregate turnover 10 crore or more, in such a scenario, you have a 30 days timeline in which you have to generate the e-invoice, or that type of update we should suggest to our client. Sir, we all are updating ourselves through certain sessions, through certain programs, or so through certain books. Okay, but as per my opinion, as per my suggestion, as you all are in practicing, okay, so in a monthly basis we should record a short video for our client, or take a live session for our client, in which will guide our client about the simplified explanation of recent changes like this e-invoice, like the e-way bill. So client ko lagega, yes, my CA is providing something extra, because as we all know, there is a very huge competition in our line, so we have to provide something extra to our client, and that is one of the way. So yes, in case of B2B, debit note, credit note, 30 days timeline is there. With this specific change, I also take a very important or specific issue in front of you. Nowadays, departmental authority is coming with a notice, show cause notice, and they are saying that, sir, as your turnover crosses the specific limit of 5 crore and the e-invoice was applicable on you from 1st August 2023, but you have not generated the e-invoice. So we are supposed to impose a liability on you, 25,000, 25,000, 50,000 rupees for non-generation of the e-invoice. Now, one way is there, pay the same. But sir, if your turnover is above 5 crore, below 10 crore, then now also the portal is providing you the option to generate all the previous e-invoice. But now question is that, what about the so cause notice which has been issued by the departmental authority? So sir, for that purpose, CBIC has issued a very specific instruction as on 18th of October 2023. And at that time, in this instruction, sir, if it is possible for you, then mark this instruction, because if you have received these type of notice, then this instruction plays a very important role. Okay, this instruction says that if the turnover is up to 50 crore rupees and taxpayer has not generated the e-invoice, in that case you cannot directly issue the show cause notice to the taxpayer. First you have to issue an intimation that, sir, as your turnover crosses the specific limit and you are liable for generation of the e-invoice, so you have not generated, so kindly make the compliance of the same, otherwise we'll go for certain proceedings in future. That type of information based notice is required. Then after you can go for SCN. But nowadays departmental authorities directly issuing the show cause notice. So this is also one ground for us, that as per that instruction, first you have to go for the information, and as we have not received any type of information regarding generation of e-invoice, so how you can directly issue the show cause notice? This is also one ground for me. Sir, you all are with me. 3 changes we have done. You all are getting the points. Just let me know in the chat box. We all have to make this session as an interactive. So yes, you all are getting the points. Now, next, sponsorship services. So they have covered this body corporate under forward charge. Earlier, the same was covered under reverse charge mechanism, but now onwards, the sponsorship services with respect to the body corporate has been covered under forward charge mechanism from 10th October 2024. And a very specific change, and which plays a very important role in our day-to-day practice as well, and sir, which plays a very important role while going for the income tax audit or while going for the analysis of the financial statement. That is applicability of GST under reverse charge mechanism on account of rent. Now, when I will go for the income tax audit or when I will check the profit and loss account, and if I found a specific term that is called as rent, I should ensure that yes, the tax under reverse charge mechanism has been paid or not, because this is a new clause. So we all should focus on that. There may be chances that we'll found something from that. Okay. And this is a mandatory clause. So we need to check if there is any expenditure, rent, we have to check that the RCM has been paid or not. Next, metal scrap. Sir, we all know section 9 subsection 3 is very special for all of us. Section 9 subsection 3 prescribe a specific list of goods and a specific list of services. All those goods or services which has been mentioned in the section 9 subsection 3 is liable for the reverse charge mechanism. I am always saying that when we are going for the analysis of financial statement, filing the 9 and 9C, or at least when we go for the annual closing compliances, we have to generate the provisional financial statement from the books of account of our client, and we have to check all the expenditure, whether it is related to purchase or related to the direct or indirect expenditure, whether these expenditure fall under the specific list of section 9 subsection 3, or whether the taxpayer has paid the tax under reverse charge mechanism or not. Because the point is that we all are filing the return based on the data shared by our client. Okay. And client is also generating the data from the accounting software, and accounting software is preparing the data based on the entries which has been made in the software. So now question is that if I have made any wrong entry in my accounting software, in that case wrong output will be there. Or while filing the monthly data, there may be chances that I am not going to check these things in a very detailed way. So on half yearly basis, on yearly basis, we have to check the financial statement. Okay. So this metal scrap and TDS and RCM applicability. So if the supplier is a registered person, if the supplier is a registered person and recipient is also registered person, so when the recipient is a registered person and supplier is registered person, then no applicability under reverse charge mechanism because registered. But yes, both are registered, then TDS is there, so that one party will deduct and another party के वो cash ledger में show हो जाएगा after filing the TDS TCS credit received statement. But if the supplier is registered and the recipient is unregistered, in such a scenario RCM is not there because recipient is registered, unregistered. So how that person will pay the taxes under reverse charge mechanism? And when the recipient is unregistered, then how the TDS credit will be there? So yes, this will no. When the supplier is unregistered and recipient is registered, then definitely recipient will pay the taxes under reverse charge mechanism. But your TDS will not be there, and both are unregistered, then no applicability is there. So through the logic, we can easily understand the table. कई बार होता क्या है, हमें थोड़ी सी confusion होती है about the applicability of TDS and reverse charge mechanism. So this specific chart, you can easily get the idea. Okay, you can easily paste it in the office desk as well, so that you can get the idea. You can share the same with your client. Now, next thing, which is not an amendment, but this is something which we need to know. कई बार हमारे दिमाग से निकल जाता है. There is an option which is available in the hand of GTA for the forward charge mechanism. That is, GTA can also pay the taxes under forward charge mechanism. The point is that GTA has to go for an annexure number 5, which should be submitted before commencement of the relevant financial year. That means till the 31st March of the preceding financial year. Earlier the date was 15th March, but now government is saying you may submit that type of declaration till 31st March. So in case if you are handling a work of a goods travel agent, goods transport agency, GTA, then you have to suggest your client that you can go with the forward charge as well. And if you will go with the forward charge, then without input tax credit, you have to pay the tax at the rate of 5%. And with input tax credit, you have to pay the tax at the rate of 12%. And most important, the selection of the scheme also we need to suggest to our client based on the expenditure which has been made by our client. उससे हम ये आइडेंटिफाई कर पाएंगे कि जितना उसके पास में इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट आ रहा है क्या उतना मुझे टैक्स पे करने में बेनिफिट है या फिर नहीं है. दैट विल बी कंप्लीटली बेस्ड ऑन द एनालिसिस ऑफ कॉस्ट एंड बेनिफिट. Whenever I am taking certain sessions or physical events, at that time always saying that sir, your GST is completely linked with your business growth model. We have to go for multiple analysis, okay, and based on that we have to go for the decision. And if they are not selecting for the forward charge mechanism, then RCM is there and 5% GST rate is there for the recipient. Now, one of the most important thing which is there, that is called as IMS, invoice management system. कई बार हम सोचते हैं यार this is an additional compliance, this is an additional burden. Why this IMS is there? We have to follow one more compliance. We have to check the things. We have to put certain marks on the IMS. Then after our 2B will be prepared. Everything is there. These type of. But sir, this is the role of your client and this is our relief. Because when I will guide my client related to this invoice management system, client or accountant can easily handle the system and I will directly get the input tax credit which is there in GSTR 2B. As a GST consultant, I am always saying that the filing of return, handling the compliances is not the work of a chartered accountant. As a CA, I will go for the advisory, I will go for the growth, I will go for the litigations, I will go for the preventive measures. Okay. So this is also a very important thing. First, we'll just try to understand this concept of invoice management system. So government has come up with a very specific theme. In this particular concept, all the invoices will be there on the IMS dashboard based on the return which has been taken care by the supplier. Okay. That means when the supplier is going to save the data in GSTR1 return, the same will be auto-populated on your IMS dashboard. And you may take the actions on the IMS dashboard. Government has provided total 3 actions. One is accept, another is reject, third one is keep it pending. If the purchase which is there in your IMS dashboard is in line with the purchase which you have made, you just need to accept it. If that purchase is due to wrong reflection of GST and you may reject it. Or if the same is blocked under section 17 subsection 5, in that case you may go for the rejection. If that input tax credit is for the personal purpose, rejected. If there is a doubt that this input tax credit is related to me or not, or suppose you have not received the goods, because as per section number 16 subsection 2, a mandatory condition is there. You will not be eligible to claim the input tax credit without receipt of the goods. So if you have not received the goods, but on the basis of invoice, your counterparty has provided the same in GSTR1, then the same will be available on IMS dashboard. So we may keep it pending. Whatever record you have accepted, the same will be transferred to your GSTR2B. Rejected, removed, and keep it pending will be there unless and until you will not take a action, that is accept or reject. Now, sir, all these type of things we have to handle? Not at all. Create a short video, assign that task to the client or accountant that, sir, this is the access of your IMS dashboard. Take a Excel sheet of your purchase register. If you want to do it manually, you can do it manually, accept, reject, keep it pending. Otherwise, download that Excel file and download the Excel file generated from the accounting software and go for a mismatch and match. And this facility is also available in multiple. This facility is also available in multiple accounting softwares as well. So those which is rejected, you can directly mark it rejected or keep it pending. So the same will be reflected on your dashboard, and accordingly the ITC will be reflected in your GSTR 2B, and the same will be auto populated in 3B. So our compliance burden got reduced and everything will be in a smooth way. So this IMS dashboard is very good for all, but we just need to use it in a very well manner. That is the very important task. Next. GSTR 1A. Sir, this specific GSTR 1A was the concept which was introduced in July 2017, that is at the time of initial stage of GST. But at that time, due to certain reasons, वो applicable नहीं हो पाया. In July 2024, government has once again come up with this specific GSTR 1A CBIC notification 12/2024. And this is providing a very good opportunity for all of us. Because suppose while filing the GSTR 1 return, suppose I have made certain mistakes, or while filing the GSTR 1 return, I have not submitted a specific entry in the GSTR 1. And after filing the GSTR 1 return, my client is calling me and saying, Sachin, actually, while sending the data, I have forgot to share a specific invoice. And you have filed the return. So now my counterparty is not getting the input tax credit. So there is certain issues. So at that time, if this GSTR 1 is not there, in that case, no way is available. Whatever data which you have submitted with the GSTR 1 is full and final. But with the GSTR 1A, you have a facility to amend a specific record which you have submitted in your GSTR 1 return, and you may add a record in your GSTR 1A. But the point is that you can file the GSTR 1 return related to a particular period before filing the GSTR 3B return of the specific period. Because after that, no use of that 1A. And that facility for a month you can avail for one time only. अगर आप ऐसा सोच रहे हो मैं एक बार फाइल करूं, फिर दूसरी बार फाइल कर दूं, फिर तीसरी बार फाइल कर दूं, this facility is not available. You will be eligible to make the changes in one time only. So this GSTR 1A return is also very important, very specific all of us. Okay. And I suggest these things to your article, to your staff, because they are handling the compliances for us. So they should know these type of facts and figures, okay, so that the compliances will be in a smooth way. और अगर हमारी compliances सही होगी, in that case automatically the chances of litigation will reduce. Negative liability in GSTR 3B. Earlier, sir, there was one issue that if there is a negative liability, suppose there is a sales return, or during the period I have made the sales intra-state only, and there is a sales return intra-state, in that case negative liability will be there under IGST, and GST portal is not taking the negative liability. Due to that, there is the issue, I have to note the same. In subsequent month, I have to take care of the same. While filing the return, I have to adjust the figures accordingly. So this is a quite complicated task, and go for the reconciliation, and multiple things are there. Now government is saying in your table 3.1 GSTR 3B, you will be eligible to put the negative liability, and the same will be reflected in your negative liability register, and in subsequent period the same will be adjusted. So now if you will check, you are eligible to put the negative figures in your GSTR 3B return. So we just need to keep this point also in our mind. GSTR 7, invoice-wise reporting, not so much in our day-to-day practice, but this is also a change, so we should keep in our mind. GSTR 7 is applicable in case of TDS, okay, governmental agency, authority. If they are going to pay something, so they are supposed to deduct the TDS. So earlier they were filing the return based on the GSTN reporting. Under this GSTN, we have provided this amount, so this is the TDS deduction. But now government has come up with the invoice-wise reporting. That means in this invoice-wise reporting, while filing the GSTR 1 return, the reporting will be same as we are doing in our GSTR 1. Invoice-wise, they have to show the TDS deductions. and invoice wise the same will be available in the TDS TCS credit received statement. So this is also an important thing which we need to keep in our mind. Sir, you all are enjoying the session now? You all are with me ना? मैं क्या है हर 15-15 मिनट से आपसे एक बार पूछ लूं so that मुझे लगेगा yes I am in a conference hall and you all are in front of me and I am going to share something with you. Okay sir, thank you for your prompt response in the chat box. Now GSTR 1 return. Thank you everyone for your response. Thank you. Yes, team Grand Mark. Changes in GSTR 1 return. There are certain changes which is there in GSTR 1 return in a phased way. Government is coming with certain changes. Okay, earlier they have come up with the HSN code mandatory requirement 4-digit, 6-digit turnover based. Okay, now they are saying, sir, we all are putting the HSN code. Okay, we all are putting the HSN code in the GSTR 1 return. Okay, one more important thing, as the GSTR 1 return is generated from the accounting software, okay, and our client is sending the data to us, we are uploading the same in GST and common portal and filing the returns. That approach we all are supposed to follow. While filing the GSTR 1 return, just keep one important thing. Take the total of all B2B, B2CS, credit note, debit note, export, and just confirm that the total of all your things should reconcile with your HSN summary. This is the checkpoint. Okay. I will also try to share with you a specific recorded video in which I have shared a specific thing that how we can cross verify the data which has been shared by our client. That is also a very important task. Okay. Now, in HSN code wise summary, earlier there were manual intervention. That means you may select the HSN code accordingly. Okay. But now government is saying no manual intervention is there. You have to select the HSN code through the drop down box which is given. बट इन अवर डे टू डे प्रैक्टिस मुझे लगता है 80 to 90% प्रोफेशनल के लिए ये कोई हर्डल क्रिएट नहीं करेगा बिकॉज सॉफ्टवेयर इज रिटर्न इज जनरेटेड फ्रॉम अकाउंटिंग सॉफ्टवेयर वी आर अपलोडिंग थ्रू अवर सॉफ्टवेयर so everything is based on automation only, so this will not create a issue. And you have to report separately the B2B and B2CS HSN code summary. This is also a step which has been taken by the government, and this is also a recent change in your GSTR 1 return related to GSTR 1. Now, one most important and significant issue. Before taking that issue, I just want to share with you one example. Okay, suppose I have made a specific supply, I have made a specific sales, okay, to Mr. X, to Mr. Y, to Mr. Z. I have made a specific sales to Mr. X, to Mr. Y, to Mr. Z. Suppose 1 lakh rupees, suppose 50,000 rupees, suppose 50,000 rupees. Okay, GST amount is suppose 18,000 rupees, 9,000 rupees, 9,000 rupees. Okay, I have made the sales. After the making the sales, there is a sales return. Okay, sales return of about 20,000 rupees. Due to that, there is a reduction in the ITC. Suppose just for an example, 3,000 rupees. There is a ITC reduction in 1,500 or 1,500, just for example. So when there is a sales return, I am just going to reduce my outward liability. मैं अपना outward liability यहाँ पर reduce करने वाला हूँ. And the counterparty to whom I have made the supply, that buyer has to reverse the input tax credit. Okay, that buyer has to reverse the input tax credit. Now one point is that earlier there were one concept. Earlier there were one concept. Buyer is just going to show the net of input tax credit in all other ITC. That is after adjusting the credit note. Due to that, whenever there will be a business audit, departmental audit, or there is a scrutiny, departmental authority is saying, Mr. Sachin, you have shown these amount of credit note in your GSTR 1 return. How we can check that your counterparty has reversed the input tax credit? So मैं उस समय ये argue करता हूँ कि sir, you can check the GSTR 3B return. At that time, when the departmental authority is going to check the GSTR 3B return, they found that only amount has been shown in all other ITC. No figure is shown in the reversal part. So at that time, departmental authority is saying that how we can verify the same, that you have reversed the input tax credit. हम ये कैसे check करें? Yes, that is the issue. And departmental authority is saying that when counterparty has not reversed the input tax credit, how you can reduce your outward liability? At that time also, I was suggesting that we have to show it differently in the reversal part, so that yes, usko invoice wise to trace nahi kiya ja sake, but departmental authority can check, yes, counterparty has made certain reversals. But now there is a concept of GSTR 2B and IMS dashboard, which plays a very important role. You can make accept, reject, or keep it pending. So now government has also made a specific change in section number 34 related to the credit note. And in this section, they have clearly mentioned that you should not show the net of in your GSTR 3B. You have to separately mention the reversal of input tax credit, and which plays a very important role in the departmental audits. So I request, if now also if we are following the same type of practice while filing the GSTR 3B return based on GSTR 2B, if we are showing the all other ITC under net of figures, then also we have to change the practices. We have to go for the reversal part, so that in case of any litigation, we can show it very carefully. We can show the things very carefully. So this is also a very important update that we need to keep in our mind. Now, changes in section number 38, or you can say these changes are merely for the implementation of IMS dashboard. They have just removed the word from this section number 38, auto populated, so that your IMS dashboard can come into picture. That means when you will take the actions on the IMS dashboard, your ITC will be transferred to your GSTR 2B, and accordingly you have to file your GSTR 3B return. So this change in section number 38 is just to give the effect in your IMS dashboard. प्री डिपॉजिट रिक्वायरमेंट, सर थोड़ी सी बात लिटिगेशन के पर्सपेक्टिव से भी कर लेते हैं. We have done from the compliance perspective, then we are starting our discussion from the litigation perspective. So if there is a specific matter which will involves only penalty, in that case, to file appeal, there is requirement of pre-deposit, 10% of penalty. Earlier, in case of matter is related to penalty, no pre-deposit provisions was there. So now government has come up with a 10% penalty pre-deposit. Or if you want to go for the appellant tribunal, 10% additional penalty is required. So this is just a quantum. Now, sir, vouchers. Many decisions are there related to the vouchers. But now it is very clear that on account of your vouchers, no GST will be applicable. On account of your vouchers, no GST will be applicable. And the reason being, government has issued a special circular dated 13th of December 2024. And in this particular circular, government has specifically mentioned that vouchers will be treated as neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Earlier आपको पता रहेगा, vouchers के केस में we have a specific section, section number 12, section number 13 related to time of supply. और उन्होंने बोला, if the voucher is identifiable at the date of issue, in such case the date of issuance will be treated as time of supply. And if the voucher is not identifiable, in that case the date of redemption will be treated as time of supply. Sir, what do you mean by the identifiable? Suppose I have visited Reliance Mall, and Reliance Mall is saying that Mr. Sachin, on your next purchase will give you a 500 rupees off, and this is the voucher. So this voucher is identifiable. And if Reliance is providing me a voucher and saying that Sachin will give you some discount in your subsequent purchase, so the voucher is not identifiable. So date of redemption will be treated as time of supply, and accordingly GST will be applicable. But now the point is that through this specific circular, whatever type of voucher issued by Kalyan Jewelers, by Myntra, by Reliance, no GST will be applicable. So this is also a very important thing which we need to keep in our mind. From the vouchers perspective, हो सकता है कुछ चीजें हम लोग डेली बेसिस पे नहीं फॉलो करते हैं, but the point is that We should know these type of things, so that if there is requirement of any consultancy in a specific matter, we all should in a capacity to provide a proper and prompt consultancy to our client. Okay. Now, I also want to take the reference of section number 74A, which is also very much important from financial year 2024-25 onwards, because earlier till 2023-24, departmental authority was always saying, if you will not provide the response within the specific timeline, we'll go for the proceedings under section number 73 or 74. 73 is non-fraud cases and 74 is for fraud related cases. But now government has merged both these sections and come up with a specific new section, section number 74. Any excess claim of input tax credit, less payment of output tax, wrong claim of refund, your proceeding will be initiated under section number 74. And sir, this is the future. As we all know, a lot of litigations will be there in future. So we all should ready ourselves right now, so that future we can face very easily. So section number 74A, which is giving a specific timeline, that is tax or ITC related matters, then departmental authority may come up 42 months from the due date of filing the annual return from the relevant financial year. And in case of refund related matters, 42 months from the date of refund. So you have a total 42 months timeline in which departmental authority has to come up for the proceedings. And in that case also government has prescribed the specific penalty. आपको याद रहेगा under section number 73 also government has prescribed a lot of type of penalties, and under section number 74 also there were inclusion of certain penalties. So we also need to keep these things in our mind, so that in case of the notice has been issued by the departmental authority, as a CA, as a legal professional, I have to go for the argument that this is a fraud or this is not fraud. So accordingly, the penalty quantum will be set. So in case of fraud related issues, before show cause notice, if you are ready to make the payment in such a scenario, 15% of tax will be the penalty. 60 days from the show cause notice, in that case, 25% of the tax will be penalty. 60 days from the order, 50% of tax will be the penalty. And in case of non-fraud cases, before issuing the notices or within 60 days from the notices, no penalty is there. But after that, 10,000 or 10% of tax, whichever is higher, will be treated as penalty. And आपको जिस दिन notice आया, from that date, within 12 months, the order should be passed. So complete timeline is here related to the section number 74, and we all should go for the analysis of this section number 74A in a very detailed way, come up with the timeline chart, come up with the proceedings, come up with the specific issues and the determination of cases, the basis for fraud and non-fraud, so that we can argue for our client in near future. Now, sir, most important thing which is there in front of us, a very popular judgment, हम सबको पता है, Safari retreats. There is only one judgment which is famous in the market, that is Safari retreats. And I just want to share with you one story regarding this Safari retreats. Sir, you all know this Safari retreat judgment, or I will explain the same with an example. I can explain the same with an example, because this is a very important judgment for all of us. A very specific judgment. Sir, in this particular situation, there were one issue. One taxpayer has constructed one building, and that person has constructed the building merely for the rental purpose. Okay, that person will earn the rental revenue, and that taxpayer is saying that on my rental income, I am ready to pay the GST. I will pay the GST. So on the construction part, I should be eligible to claim the input tax credit, because this is the source of my revenue and I am ready to pay the GST. So I should be eligible to claim the input tax credit. So that person has claimed the input tax credit. High Court ne bola, no, this is blocked under section 17 subsection 5. How you can claim the input tax credit for the construction related things? Honorable Supreme Court has come up with a very detailed analysis of the situation. And Honorable Supreme Court has come up with a decision after the fundamental analysis of the complete definition of plant or machinery, which is given in section number 17, subsection 5. Government has clearly mentioned in section number 17, subsection 5, that sir, in case of plant or machinery, you will be eligible to claim the input tax credit. So now, Supreme Court has done the analysis of the term plant or machinery. And after analysis of the complete term plant or machinery, government says that this building is not a machinery. Okay, because no manufacturing process is there, so we cannot define it as a machinery. And plant definition is not there in GST law. So they have taken the definition from the journal prospect dictionary, and they found plant is a specific thing from which we are getting the revenue. So in that case, this building and the taxpayer will get the revenue, and taxpayer is ready to pay the tax on the rental income. So this should be considered as plant. And under section 17, subsection 5, block credit, government itself says that if a particular thing will cover in the definition of plant or machinery, you will be eligible to claim the input tax credit. So ये machinery तो नहीं है, but this is a plant, so ITC should be allowed. Accordingly, Honorable Supreme Court has passed the decision. Now, Madam Nirmala Sitharaman ji, in the council meeting, they said that in complete law, we have mentioned the term plant and machinery at 11 places. But in section number 17, subsection 5, we have mistakenly written the plant or machinery instead of plant and machinery. So we are supposed to replace the plant or machinery with plant and machinery from retrospective basis. So वहां पर वो जो ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट का डिसीजन था वो void हो गया. So this is a very important, very specific decision for us, because if we have idea about the Safari Retrieve judgment, and if we have no idea about the recent amendment in section 17, subsection 5, in that case, we may suggest our client claim the input tax credit, but 17.5 is not allowing. Yes, there is a question. What about seamless flow of credit? This question is there in your mind, and this question is there in my mind as well. So under law, the effect of analysis is very important. Or, and, dot, comma, includes, means, plays a very important role. Section 7, supply includes, because they want the wider definition. Varna, they may use the supply means, but they use the term supply includes. The purpose is only one, to give a very wider definition. Now, a very important thing I just want to share with you. Sir, I will take just 10 to 15 minutes more. Okay, I have something important to discuss with you. I will conclude the session in next 10 to 15 minutes only. So just be with me. Now, a very specific thing is there. Recently, departmental authority is issuing multiple notices on the GST and common portal. Okay, related to scrutiny of returns, related to assessment. Okay, and they are issuing the notices on the GST and common portal under user services, view additional notices, or under notices tab. Now, it is not possible for everyone to check the GST and common portal on monthly basis. So there may be chances that I have not checked the GST and common portal, and मैंने check नहीं किया, so I have not provided the response on the GST and common portal. Or there may be chances due to that I have not provided the response, departmental authority has initiated the proceeding under section number 73 or 74. Now, concern is that when I have no idea, we have no idea about the specific judgment. When we have no idea about the specific notice which has been issued on the GST and common portal, and I have not provided the response, and departmental authority has passed the decision 73-74, and the timeline to file appeal has already been lapsed. So now I cannot go for the appeal as well. When the departmental authority has come up for the recovery proceeding, at that time मुझे पता चला there is a notice issued by the departmental authority on the GST and common portal. Now, whether this is a proper communication or not, So first I am just going to discuss with a negative or unfavorable decision which has been recently pronounced by Honorable Madras High Court in case of Umika Infra Developers. In this particular situation, the departmental authority has issued the notice under section 73 on GST and common portal. The particular authority has issued the notice, given the timeline, but taxpayer had not checked the GST and common portal. Departmental authority has initiated the proceedings. Now departmental authority has filed a petition before the Honorable High Court. And in this particular situation, Honorable High Court said that the order which has been uploaded in the GST and common portal will be treated as the proper communication. And the taxpayer cannot take the advantage of a specific article, article number 14 of Constitution of India, related to the fundamental right opportunity of being heard, principle of natural justice. So the same decision recently, just 5 to 7 days back, they have pronounced the decision. But we have around 20 to 25 case study in which the favorable decision has been pronounced, and here I have just taken the reference of 3 case studies in which the decision has already been pronounced by the Honorable Madras High Court. Through this particular slide, I just want to share one very important thing. Sir, the decision, whether it is High Court, Appellant Tribunal, Appellant Authority, completely based on the presentation, completely based on the facts and figure, completely based on the grounds taken by the taxpayer or the tax professional. In the next judgment, Mohan Enterprises versus Deputy Assistant Commissioner, the Honorable Madras High Court has considered the specific fact. In that case also, the tax officer has issued the notice. Given the timeline of 30 days, taxpayer has not provided any response. Departmental authority has initiated the proceeding. Then after taxpayer has taken the reference of a specific thing that, sir, I have already discontinued my business. और मैंने जैसे कि मेरा बिजनेस डिसकंटिन्यू कर दिया है, सो आई हैव नॉट चेक द जीएसटी एंड कॉमन पोर्टल ऑन रेगुलरली, सो आई हैव नॉट गेट द स्पेसिफिक फैक्ट अबाउट योर नोटिस व्हिच इज देयर ऑन जीएसटी एंड कॉमन पोर्टल, आई हैव नॉट प्रोवाइडेड द रिस्पांस. So please allow me for submission of my reply, because this is my right. And here is a violation of a specific article number 14 of Constitution of India, principle of natural justice. I have not received the opportunity of being heard. And Honorable High Court has considered the same fact. In case of Ramaswamy, in that case also the Honorable Madras High Court has pronounced the decision when the notice has already been issued on the GST and common portal, no intimation has been given to the taxpayer. And in this case, the business was continued. But the Honorable High Court has considered the fact and provided the opportunity and directed to the departmental authority to issue a fresh show cause notice, give a time to consider the facts and figure, and accordingly pass a fresh order. And the same decision has been pronounced in case of Vignesh Building Works versus State Tax Officer, and the same decision has been pronounced by Honorable Madras High Court. In that case also ground was same, that the notice was only uploaded on the GST and common portal. So all these case studies are very important for all of us, because whenever we are going for a litigation, whenever we are presenting our case in front of the departmental authority, our case will be decided on the basis of the reference material. And your case studies will always be considered as a very good reference material. So we should collect these type of certain case study as a reference material for our case. So sir, these are the recent updates which we have done related to our business, related to our practice, and from the perspective of our client as well. I have taken 2 to 3 such type of amendments or changes that we need to suggest our client, that we need to incorporate in the daily business of our client, so that the process, the compliances can be in a very smooth way. Sir, everything is okay for everyone? So that with your permission, I just want to take a very specific concept, very specific issue in this GST. Annual compliances, thank you. Annual compliances or annual closing under GST. सर आपको थोड़ा मजा आया ना? You all have enjoyed the session. Session was not boring, I think. You all have enjoyed the learning ना? Because I don't want that बहुत कुछ लोड लेके हम कुछ सीखे. That I don't think so. So annual closing from GST perspective. Sir, this is most important thing. Many time when we are going for the income tax audit, or many time when we are going for the GSTR 9 or 9C, or while filing the September October month return, we are just focusing on the reconciliation, we are just focusing on the various adjustment, we are just focusing from the perspective of input and output. But I request, try to do all these things in your May or June month return, so that while filing the income tax audits, this will be a cross check of the data which you have submitted on the GST and common portal, and your GSTR 9 and 9C will be done in a very well manner. So that is the most important thing that we need to keep in our mind from the perspective of annual closing. So I just want to share with you certain special things which we need to focus on from this annual closing. And sir, if we will do it in a planned way, then definitely it will not take much more time. You can handle these compliances very easily in a very limited amount of time. First thing, just go for the analysis of the GST and common portal. I am always saying that when we are getting for a new client, or when we are going for the annual closing or certain reconciliations, first try to get the idea about the nature of industry of our client, about the specific manufacturing process, about the specific trading process. But as a professional, we have a limited amount of time, and what we are focusing, send the data, we'll check, we'll prepare the reconciliation, we'll file the return. Yes, you are in textile industry, you are in steel industry, is that okay? So try to identify the things in a very detailed way related to our client. Ask your client, sir, are you dealing in any type of job work? Are you sending your goods on any other place for job work, so that you can check from the perspective of additional place of business? Go through with the GST and common portal once going for the annual closing. हो सकता है there is change in any proprietor or partner particulars. There is change in any additional place of business, principal place of business, bank account. Ask these things from your client so that your GST and common portal will be up to date. And also try to identify the exact nature, detailed analysis of the business, so that you can contribute in the growth of your client. And also we can check the compliances as well. Suppose हमने पूछा उस client से, हमारा discussion हुआ, and we found that there is a branch of our client which is there at Jaipur. I am from Jodhpur. So we have to ask, have you made any transaction with your branch? Yes. Then we have to ask about the valuation. That sir, you have done the valuation as per rule number 28 of CGST rules. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है you are sending on a normal basis, and at the time of GST audit scrutiny, when departmental authority will issue the letter, at that time taxpayer will say, Sachin, you were filing my return, you were handling my compliances, now this demand, why? So focus on these things. Reconciliations, as we all know that this GST is a world of reconciliation. Since 2017 we all are preparing the reconciliation, but certain reconciliation which are very important for all of us. If it is possible for you, then mark it. The reconciliation between GSTR 3B and GSTR 1. And a very common issue is there, which I want to share with you. That is, sir, suppose we have filed the GSTR 1 return. After that, our client is sending one credit note and saying that, sir, मैंने ये credit note है ना मेरे GSTR 1 में तो नहीं डाला, but I have received letter on, so consider it in your GSTR 3B return. Okay. So if we have not uploaded the credit note in our GSTR 1, but we are going to put it in our GSTR 3B return, in that case there will be difference in the current month, in the subsequent month. System को नहीं पता है कि दोनों set off हो रहे हैं. System will highlight it as a red, and this will be indication for the future notice. So we all should take care of this specific thing. Whenever there will be a such type of change after filing the GSTR 1 return, suggest your client will incorporate it in subsequent month GST returns, so that my reconciliation will be proper. So first reconciliation, GSTR 1 and 3B. Another reconciliation, GSTR 3B, GSTR 2B. I know this is a quite complicated reconciliation, but this is very important reconciliation. Yes, there may be chances of difference, but we should have the reconciliations. Your RCM reconciliations, at least the RCM input which is there in your GSTR 2B, the same should be reconciled with your GSTR 3B. And try to analyze the financial statement of your client from the perspective of GST. Income tax ke perspective se we all are going for the analysis, but from GST perspective, it is also a quite important. At least check the expenditure side, whether the expenditure which is mentioned in the profit and loss account liable for reverse charge mechanism, then paid or not. Because sir, we are filing the returns based on the data which has been shared by my client only. और client ने कोई entry अगर wrong की है, return will be wrong. Garbage in, garbage out. So we need to keep this very specific fact in our mind. Analyze the expenditure from RCM perspective and from reversal perspective ITC. Suppose there is a specific input tax credit which is blocked under section 17 subsection 5. Then we have to ensure that the input has not been claimed. Otherwise, there may be an issue. From the income side, suppose there is an interest. We need to analyze this interest is my financial interest or trade interest. And if this is a financial interest, whether the GST has been paid or not, this is just an example. Suppose there is a commission, there is any other income, we have to check the nature of that income, whether the income is considered as a supply or not as per the term of section 7. And if the same is considered as a supply, then yes, we have to go for the applicability of GST. Check the fixed assets chart. There is any deduction, there is any addition. Deduction, whether GST has been paid or not. Addition, input has been claimed on the taxable value only. ये सारी चीजें 2017 से एप्लीकेबल है, बट द पॉइंट इज दैट कई बार हम लोग स्किप कर जाते हैं बिकॉज कॉन्फिडेंस होता है कि यस दिस टाइप ऑफ इशू विल नॉट बी देयर, बट वो चीज स्किप होकर हमारे पास में आ जाती है. इफ योर क्लाइंट हैज क्लेम्ड रिफंड ड्यूरिंग द फाइनेंशियल ईयर व्हाइल गोइंग फॉर द एनुअल क्लोजिंग, very carefully check the calculation of the refund, the documentation which has been submitted in front of the departmental authority. And sir, I know refund has been passed by the departmental authority, but कई बार वहां पर भी कुछ इश्यू हो जाता है. After in case of audit by the departmental authority, they may raise the concerns. And based on preparation of the summary, based on the reconciliation, based on the analysis of financial statement, we should focus on the required adjustment and don't wait for the adjustment for the September month, October month, or while filing the GSTR 9 and 9C return. Make the adjustment in the May or June month so that you can track, you can cross verify all the adjustment while going for the income tax, while going for the 9 and 9C. So double check will be there. And the most important, as we all are advisor, we all are consultant, based on this annual closing, based on the analysis of financial statement, based on the analysis of the return which has been submitted by the client, based on the preparation of reconciliation, and based on the internal control checkup of my client through the analysis of the data which has been generated by the client accounting software, we have to provide certain suggestions to our client. These are the suggestions which is required for the improvement of adjustment entries. We have to provide certain suggestions related to the maintenance of data. We have to provide certain suggestions related to the cross verify of the data. जो मैं कर रहा हूं after getting the return at my office, I can suggest my client or accountant that sir, when you will generate the GSTR 1 or 3B return, at least check it from your purchase register that both are reconciling or not. When you are generating the return from the accounting software, we know each and every accounting software is very much competent and every accounting software is providing certain errors. Just the point is that we have to check it very carefully. So these are the point I request we should take care while going for the annual closings. So in this session, we have covered certain specific changes from the GST perspective, certain new things which we need to focus on, certain things which we need to focus on from our client perspective, and certain important things from the analysis perspective, and certain important things from the annual closing perspective. So इतना सब कुछ हमने आज कवर किया. देखते हैं next time we'll meet for certain other things. So over to you, sir.
So very nicely explained, Sachin ji. I have one doubt, in fact, regarding ISD. In ISD, so in our firm also we have like head office and branch concept. So what happens is for some clients our head office raises invoices, and for remaining clients, we at the branch level we raise the invoices. So is this ISD concept applicable to us? Because our head office raise the invoice and they send the money to branches. The whatever is money we receive from the client is distributed to the branches.
No, sir, that is not from perspective of your invoices which you are raising. That is the perspective from input which you are claiming. Suppose head office has paid a certain amount on account of consultancy or audit charges, and head office has paid that amount, and related to that ITC we have to transfer to the
Okay,
branches.
so this is all relating to input tax
Input.
services,
Yes,
inputs.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
ISD. Okay, fantastic. Uh, uh, so that's really nicely explained. We had a very good session. I think almost a 1 hour session now. I request Sushil ji also to give some more inputs on this. Uh, sir, I ask to unmute. Yeah.
Hello.
Sushil ji, yes, sir.
Can
You're
you hear me?
audible. Yeah, audible, sir.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Sachin. Your wonderful session, really. And we all of us have really gained a lot of knowledge out of this. And you are a very good presenter, I would say. Very good. We will definitely take your services and call you again and again. And Grandma
Definitely,
will
sir.
be greatly enriched with your knowledge. And we would like to associate with you many more sessions in future. Now, coming to a few things. See, the issue these days is about litigations and also about certain doubts in the minds of partners. And as and when all these things come up, we have to, for example, just now Vasant asked one question that you see, when we transfer the money from head office, here what is happening is that head office is raising invoice to say Mumbai for some work done in at various locations in India. Now, head office, after collecting the money, only transfers the amount to the head branches. There is no service involved. There is no second leg of service. This is my contention. The concept of billing to one state to the other state will arise only when there is a transfer of supply, then there is a supply of goods or services. Right? GST is on supply of goods and services, not on
Yes,
transfer of
yes,
money.
yes,
So, if my understanding is correct, we are just collecting money on behalf of our partners, on behalf of various locations. We are just transferring the money. That is just transfer of money. That the deliverance of service has already taken place.
exactly.
So here, my contention is that no second leg of invoicing is required. So, what is your view, Sachin, on this?
Yes, yes, definitely, sir. In that case, this is just a transfer of money only. We are just doing in the transaction of money.
Exactly. So that sometimes these doubts come to the minds of all partners. But going forward, we'll definitely have you again, and we are really. I mean, I must appreciate your. The way you have presented the entire gamut of things in terms of latest amendments. So, really thankful to you. And your energy level, there's no change from beginning to the end. That is the advantage of having young chartered accountants on on board. So thank you for everything, and we'll definitely have you again next time,
Definitely,
and
sir.
we'll keep you bothering in case anything and any doubt comes in the mind of our partners. Grandmark is a growing entity. We are still at a nascent stage, so we are growing. So thank you for coming. Right, Vasan, you want to say something? Any other partner wants to say something? Any doubts?
Unmute. Please
Please
unmute
unmute
yourself.
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. So we will have a 5 minute session on any doubts raised by any
Yeah, Sandeep.
participants.
Sandeep has a query. Please
Yeah,
allow Sandeep. Please
yeah.
allow everybody to speak.
Sandeep sir. Yeah, I think I'll allow everyone.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Let it be open for everybody. Sandeep, Sandeep, are you able to speak audio? You should allow it.
Yeah.
It is allowed to all.
Yeah. I think, yeah, it's still on mute for many
Unable to
people.
unmute.
Now
Yeah.
all are
Now it has
unmuted.
come to unmute. Yeah.
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 Hi, sir. Nicely. First of all, it was a nice session. So I have one query unrelated to the topic that was discussed today. So in few of the cases where we pay IGST on import of goods on bill of entry, we see that sometimes it appears only in 2A, not in 2B. Sometimes it doesn't appear in 2A, 2B at all. So in such cases, what should be the right way to move forward? Because then we'll be noticing that is few months down the line and then taking the ITC.
Okay, if you all have no questions, then you all can leave. And if you have questions,
I
you
think
can stay.
everybody has started speaking now. So that is, but you can unmute and Sachin can just respond to that.
Yes, Sandeep sir. In that case, we have to focus on only on your documentation bill of entry part, because in case of import, there are certain issues with GSTR 2A and 2B. Many times your amount will be
Yeah,
reflected
okay.
in.
You want to like give me
Mirzaji, please unmute.
Please mute.
Please mute. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now if you have any question, you just need to put it in chat box and I will unmute you so that it will be a great way. So the thing
Sandeep's
is that
query, yeah.
So the thing is that you have to focus on your bill of entry, Sandeep sir, because many times it happens when the input is there in your GSTR2A or the RCM related entries or the import related entries are there in your GSTR2A, but the same is not there in GSTR2B due to certain technical issues, due to certain real-time updates. So we have to focus on a bill of entry, and if we have bill of entry, then definitely we go for the reverse charge mechanism, tax and ITC.
Understood, sir. So that means so that will be a variance from auto computed value.
Yes,
And
yes,
we
definitely.
will
And
be
if you are facing these type of issue, then I request just raise one grievance with the GST and help desk so that we can take a record of any future litigations as well.
sure. So we have raised the ticket, but they're marking as resolved.
Yes,
Nothing
yes,
really.
they are also not providing you any solution. But the point is that for our documentary record, yes, we have, and we have to pay the RCM on the basis of the bill of entry.
Okay, okay. As long as I have the valid bill of entry on which I paid the GST, I'm well and good to take the ITC.
Yes, 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 definitely. That is more than sufficient.
Okay. So second leg of that question is, now that I've taken the ITC, which is not auto computed, system will mark it in red saying this is the deviation from the computed value. So would this result in a higher risk of our case being selected for litigation?
That is related to reverse charge mechanism or any other ITC.
It is relating to the import of goods.
Okay, then it is definitely okay, because in case of import of goods, it will mark it as red, not an issue.
Okay, okay.
In many cases, it will happen.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, Rajeshwari.
Good evening, Sachin ji. It was an excellent session and really enjoyed it. And you had your mastery of the subject has made us we pay so much of attention and listen to your full conversation. I have a small query. See, what happens is that there is this main manufacturer and he has a lot of job workers. Okay, he has got more than 50 to 80 job workers, and when the material is being transferred to these job workers, many a times the vehicle is stopped and they ask for the e-way bill. According to my knowledge, if it is a job worker, it can be sent through a delivery challan. I mean, that was my idea. Or you mean to say all the job workers should get registered as an additional place of business, so that there is no problem when the material is shifted? So I have a doubt in this.
Okay. So the first thing, we have to generate a job work challan. When we are sending the goods
Yes.
for job work, then we have to go for job work challan.
Okay.
And the second thing, as per provision, yes, if you have job worker, then the same should be registered as an additional place of business. Okay, that we need to do. But if these are 50 plus, law is saying that you have to register it on the GST and common portal. You have to show it as an additional place of business. But there may be chances with the documentation. Okay, because they are demanding certain additional documentation for uploading the same on GST and common portal to show that place as an additional place of business. In that case, you have to write a specific letter to the jurisdictional officer as well regarding that matter. Because if you will upload a single documentation regarding a letter, consent letter on 50 or 100 rupees stamp, in that case, they will raise one query regarding one additional document. So for that purpose, you have to mention one specific letter to the jurisdictional officer. Sir, as there are many number of job worker and due to the nature of my industry, we are not able to take a maximum number of documents from that. So we have taken one consent regarding the job work and we are also submitting the list to you. So kindly approve the same. So that jurisdictional officer will approve all the additional place of businesses. So for that purpose, we have to explain the complete nature of business and the relevance and the requirement.
Okay. So in that case, a normal job work delivery challan will do, and there is they cannot ask for an e-way bill, or the truck or anything that is moving from here to other cannot be they cannot be stopped, right?
Yes,
because they are
exactly.
asking for the e-way bill, right?
Yes, definitely. But you should generate the e-way bill. That is mandatory requirement.
Okay, e-way bill is a requirement, but that can be done through a delivery challan should also be there along with that, right?
Yes, definitely.
And you had mentioned that if it is less than 50 crores, then they cannot directly issue a show cause notice if there is no e-way bill, right? Just now you had mentioned.
No. That was related to e-invoice. That was related to
E-invoice. Okay.
Yes. If you have not generated e-invoice and your turnover is below 50 crore, then they are not directly issue the show cause notice. They will issue first the intimation that you have not generated the invoice. So please go for that because the same is applicable to you. And this is just an instruction. So we can take it as a ground only. But if the same is applicable, then yes, we have to generate it.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
So any other queries or we can conclude the seminar?
Yes, Arsad, I think we should conclude now.
Conclude, yeah,
Right.
definitely. So
closing remarks and let us.
Yeah. So I request Sushil ji to give some vote of thanks to the speaker.
Yeah. Vote of thanks I have already given, but anyway, Kanta can give the final vote of thanks.
Yeah,
not
fantastic.
at all required, sir. I am also a family member of Grandmark.
Thank you. That's really nice. That's really appreciated.
Thank you, Sachin. I was planning for so many days to hold session with Sachin, and I know his energy level. I have seen various seminars of him, but you know, Grandmark, what the disturbance and turbulence was going on, so we were just postponing. Now I thought this is the life of the Grandmark, to go with the struggles only. So I started with the session of Sachin, and definitely it was very enlightening session, and he will not let us sleep during his session. That's my take on this. Because generally some speakers are like that. When they speak, you don't tend to listen. You sometimes feel a nap. I have seen many speakers like this, but his full of energy his session was. So it was very much one was forced to listen that what he is saying, and his presentation was remarkable. And that's why I wanted every Grandmarkian should take advantage of his energy, his learning, his experience, his command over the subject. Should take all of us should take the advantage of this. So I invited him as a, this is the first session of Grandmark, and in future we'll hold many subjects, many sessions. So Sachin, you will again be requested to join us again and share your knowledge and thoughts with us. Okay, thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you, Sachin.
It was a prolonged session.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Sachin ji. Thank you.
Wonderful to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
So thank you, everyone. You all have a nice weekend.